You know, the communists have a saying that all are equal, or some are slightly more equal. Every Shabbos is special. But among all the Shabbosim, this one is very special. It's Shabbos Yud Shvat, the 10th day of the month of Shvat, where in 1950, the previous Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak, left this world, and then a year later the Rebbe became Rebbe. So I want to share with you a story which I think encapsulates what is a Rebbe. But before we do that, let us recite some Tehillim, chapter 100, Mizmor LeSoida, Horil Adonai Kol Haaretz, Ivdos Adonai B'Simcha, Boi Lefanav B'Yonona, D'Uk Adonai Elohim, Hu Osanu, V'lo Enach Na'ama V'Tzon Marisoi, Boi Yishara B'Soida Chatzroisa B'Sila, Hoidu Loi Baruch Shemoi Ki Tov Adonai Le'olam Chasdoi V'Yad Doir V'Doir Emunasoi. Together with our prayers for the well-being of all our brethren throughout the entire world, particularly in Eretz Yisrael. The hostages should come home. There should be no more victims, which we keep on hearing constantly. Rabbi Shalom, genug schon, enough suffering. Time to have the ultimate redemption. Mashiach now. So we know that a Rebbe cares deeply for every single Jew around the world. Million stories. Some of them that just defy everything. Here is a story. Used to have in Montreal a great sage. Actually, he was a Kabbalist, Rabbi Gringlas, Olav Shalom. The Rebbe called him my Mekubal, my Kabbalist. The story I heard from Rabbi Mangel. Excuse me. Yes, yes, from Rabbi Mangel, who was actually boarding in the home of Rabbi Gringlas as a student in yeshiva here. One night, Rebbetzin Gringlas was going to give birth. She went to the hospital. Her husband accompanies her and paces outside the room, because according to halacha, the doctor should be in the room by the birthing, the husband not. And suddenly, doctor comes out and says, I have some bad news. The situation is critical. I can either save your wife or save the baby. You got to make the choice. You have to give me some time. Let me find out what I need to do. He runs to the phone, calls the Rebbe's office, 493-9250. Secretary is there, answers the phone. He explains the situation and says, wait on the line, I'll ask the Rebbe. Comes back. The Rebbe said, please tell the doctor to do everything that he could, and he should go on with a normal birth. God forbid not to abort and not to let the mother die. Rabbi Gringlas comes back to the doctor and says, I want you to do everything. The Rebbe said that you have to do everything that you can. Do I need the Rebbe to tell me that I should do everything I can? I know I'm doing everything that I can, and I'm telling you the situation. And don't waste your time. It's critical. Let me call again. Once again, the Rebbe says, please tell the doctor to do everything that he can to proceed with a normal birth. When he heard it again, he turns around to Rabbi Grieg and says, you know what, this is going to be a long night. Go home to your other kids. We'll call you in the morning. He does. Obviously, Rabbi Gringlas didn't go to sleep. He never slept too much at night. Anyway, he was learning, davening, whatever he did. And then he gets a phone call in the morning. Mazel tov, baby and mother are fine. Comes running to the hospital. Thanks the doctor. What time was the baby born? 4 o'clock. calls the Rebbe, notifies right away, middle of the night, waiting for his phone call. Baby was born at 4 o'clock. Next morning he gets a phone call from the secretary. The Rebbe wants to know if the baby was born at 4 o'clock or a little earlier. Goes back to the hospital, asks the doctor, what time was the baby born? Looks, 4 o'clock. Are you sure? So what do you mean? I need to know. The rabbi wants to know. Anyway, they check in all the records, and indeed the baby was born at 3:34. Calls back the Rebbe. And then the Rebbe said the following. I couldn't sleep all night. But at 3:34 I fell asleep. So I figured that's when the baby must have been born.